Hey guys, Ramp here. I know it's been a minute since I've posted anything in this series. Life happens, things happen, but I'm back. I'm ready to finish this series. You guys have shown it so much love. You guys have blown it up so much on my channel, and I appreciate it. If you guys are new here, obviously, if you guys can hit that subscribe button, goes such a long way. Comment, like, all that fun stuff. If you guys are returning, I appreciate all the support, appreciate all the love. I appreciate you guys helping me out. But we are going to be jumping into Consulate for our Kapkan series here. The first bomb site we are going to jump into is going to be your Consulate office and your meeting room. It's usually one of the most common starting spots for your defending side. So I'm going to show you some quick little Kapkan spots that I've had be very, very successful for me to win a lot of rounds. I'll usually come over here and I'll put at least a couple of Kapkan spots or traps on this spot here, especially if you guys are running a mute. If they put a mute jammer here too, they won't end up getting a drone here to be able to see those Kapkans. So when they're pushing up, they're not looking. They just know it's mute jammed and they're just pushing in and they won't see those there. Another couple spots that I do like, you can put them on this door here, but I'm not the biggest fan of this. Main reason being, a lot of times you're coming in, you can see that, or if you're pushing up from the stairs, you can end up seeing it on the door frame there. So I'm not the biggest fan of putting it here, but I do love putting it on this door frame here. Main reason being, I've seen a lot of teams, they'll end up pushing from admin. They like taking over the manager's office room here, just because then they can get an angle from here. They can also go down and see down towards vending, all that fun stuff. But the great thing is that you can't see that Kapkan trap. You're ADSing or you're not ADSing, it is very hard to see that Kapkan spot. And a lot of teams, they'll Amara rush in or whatever the case may be, they'll take over that and they'll push in that way. I have seen teams push through from the copy room here, and I will put traps on this door frame here. I don't put them on as often, but it's a nice little spot to have. The last couple spots I do like to put is one here, or you can end up putting them on this door frame here. Because if you end up getting people that are pushing from spiral, a lot of teams are pushing in. They have no reason to look this way, unless they think somebody's hiding in this corner. But you're not really checking that corner. So when you're coming in, you're looking at different angles this way. You're not going to see the Kapkan trap sitting there. Same thing with here. You're not going to be looking too far over. You're going to end up pushing in and you're swinging. So you're not going to end up seeing the Kapkan traps from here. So if they end up pushing in from spiral, it's a nice little spot to have the traps. You can put them here if you think that they're going to push from long desk, but not the biggest fan of putting them on there. Some people I have seen try to put them here on the door frame if you think they're going to actually push in from this little room here. You will see another spot that I'm going to show you on the next bomb site that I do like to use for this, and I'll explain why in a second when we jump into the next bomb site. But I'll see you guys all on the next one. All right, guys. The next bomb site that you will typically see the defenders end up defending after they go Consulate office or meeting room, or if they ended up losing those, they end up usually going Cafeteria garage bomb site. So I'm going to show you guys some really good spots that I enjoy using Kapkan. And I've gotten a lot of kills on these. Typically, I will put them back here. I'll put a couple on here. You end up getting a lot of teams that like to rush back site, whether it be from this hatch or whether it be from all the way back there. And they're not looking for Kapkan traps right here. They're literally just looking to rush in. I've gotten so many kills here just from that alone. You can also go ahead, put some back here on this door frame here. This is, if they're wasting a lot of time, it ends up working out. But like I just mentioned before, if you guys have made it this far into the video and you watched the last site, one spot I do like putting the Kapkan traps, and I've seen so many kills from this, is on here. Because you get a lot of teams, if they aren't pushing backside, they'll push in from the closet area here, and they'll be pushing in. They want to go get the hatch, which they're going to be pushing through here, or they're just looking to take top control altogether. You don't see those Kapkan traps at all when you push in. There's no reason to look here because you already pushed in. You're clearing this out, and you're just coming through here. It has gotten so many kills from this one spot here. This spot as well is something else that I do like to use when you're on top floor. And the reason being, if they're trying to go through the little window here, a lot of times they're coming in below to make sure you're not C4ing or anything like that. So you end up getting a lot of teams that are coming through and ends up getting a nice little kill. This is what I was talking about at the end of the last one to use. I'll show you a few other spots I do like to use. I do like using this one here too. If they're coming down spiral, you end up getting nice little kills there. And then, if you end up coming all the way to the back here, you can end up using, potentially, right here. Because a lot of teams, they're going to end up coming in. They're not looking over here. They're just looking down here. And they're looking here. So I do like to put them on here as well. Usually get some good kills. I don't normally put them on here because sometimes teams will push through the hatch here. And they're going to end up seeing the Kapkan traps from there. So... but those are some of my spots that I do enjoy using on this particular bomb site. And we'll move on to the last bomb site that I typically see teams using. So I'll see you on the next one. All right, guys. Last bomb site that I normally see teams defending is the piano room. I don't see too many using server tellers just because it's two different bomb sites on two different floors. So in ranked, I typically don't end up seeing this. So we're only going to cover the piano bomb site here. So last but not least, guys, I'll show you some good little cheeky Kapkan spots that I do enjoy. You guys know I'm not the biggest fan of putting Kapkan traps within the site, but for certain sites, it does work out pretty well. For example, I do like putting them here because if you have a team that tries to rush through closet here, shields, all that kind of fun stuff, they can't really see a Kapkan trap that is on this wall here. As you can tell, when you push through, they're too preoccupied trying to cover all angles. If they do push through here, a couple other spots I do enjoy putting them is on this door frame right here. Because if you get people pushing from the front door, you end up getting people looking this way and they're not paying attention to there. You don't really see them there. A few spots that we have already used before when we were upstairs are phenomenal spots to use, especially if you're trying to hold upstairs as Kapkan. You could easily put them back on this same spot again, because if they push from yellow or if they push from the skylight here from yellow, you end up being able to, hopefully, depending on if you're playing upstairs and you have the hatch open or if you have the hatch closed, the spot definitely does help because they're more preoccupied about you being up here. They're not really paying attention to the Kapkan traps on the door frame there. And like I mentioned before, I wasn't the biggest fan of putting them here because it was the bomb site before. I do enjoy putting them here when I'm defending upstairs. It does help a little bit with if you know somebody is pushing from, like if they decide that they want to try to clear out from admin all the way on over, it ends up giving you a nice little alarm on if they're pushing in. Same thing with this door frame here. You can end up putting them here if they end up pushing from spiral, or if they push from admin and they push along here and you're trying to hold it down from up top here. It's a nice little kind of an alarm, I guess you could say, for certain angles. If certain ones go off, it's nice to know. Or if they end up shooting it and you have a good headset on, you end up knowing if they end up pushing on through. So there are other angles that they can take, obviously, that'll end up not giving you any sort of alarm. But these are nice little spots that usually they'll end up flowing through. in order to get any sort of sound notification coming on through. So I hope those work for you guys. If there's anything that I missed, and if there's anything at all that you guys think would be beneficial, like you could potentially put them on this door frame here when you're down here, or if you think that they're going to be pushing from across the way, you can also put them on the interior door frame here. I haven't really used them much in ranked, so I don't know how effective they are, but you guys could potentially use those. But I really hope that those all help you guys. Once again, I am going to be getting back into the series. If you guys have made it this far into the video, I appreciate all the support. I appreciate you guys watching the complete video. Please comment whatever you want to see me do next in terms of the Kapkan series. I know we have about 7 or 8 more, I believe, maps to go. So I hope these have been very helpful. Please share them, like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of fun stuff. Really goes a long way, helps me out. We do stream on both Twitch and YouTube. I might be trying to get into TikTok streaming as well. So hopefully I will catch any of you guys, if you guys are new or if you guys are returning, in the streams too. I would love to be able to chat with you guys. We might do some viewer games, all that kind of fun stuff. But I will catch you guys all in the next one. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, night, whatever it may be for you. And I'll see you then. Later, guys.